Hello, little one. Another spooky story for you today. Today our story is all about Squeaky's kindness and generosity. Squeaky hadn't found the perfect pumpkin to carve, but he had found the perfect opportunity to be kind and generous. Once upon a time, in a cozy little town, lived a curious and brave little squirrel named Squeaky. Squeaky loved autumn, especially Halloween, because of all the delicious pumpkin seeds. One crisp October morning, Squeaky decided to visit Farmer McGregor's famous pumpkin patch. It was said that the biggest, most perfect pumpkins grew there. As Squeaky scurried into the patch, he saw pumpkins of all shapes and sizes. Some were tall and round, others short and squat. There were bright orange ones, pale yellow ones, and even some bumpy green ones. "Oh my, so many choices," he chattered excitedly. He scampered past a grumpy-looking pumpkin that had a crooked stem. Too wonky, Squeaky thought. Next, he spotted a tiny, perfectly round pumpkin. "Too small," he squeaked, wanting a grand adventure. He kept searching for the most perfect pumpkin, the one he imagined would hold the most delicious seeds. After a long time, Squeaky started to feel a little tired. He had looked at hundreds of pumpkins, but none seemed just right. He was looking for one without any marks, without any funny bumps, and just the right shade of orange. He felt a little disappointed. Just then, he heard a gentle rustling. A wise old owl, perched on a fence post, hooted softly. "Looking for something, little one?" "Yes," Squeaky sighed. "I'm looking for the perfect pumpkin, but I can't find it. They all have something wrong with them." The owl blinked slowly. "Perhaps you're looking for perfection outside, when true beauty is found within, or in how we use what we have." Squeaky thought about the owl's words. He looked around again, but this time, he looked differently. He saw the grumpy-looking pumpkin with the crooked stem, but now he noticed its deep, rich color. He scurried back to the tiny, round pumpkin he'd dismissed. It wasn't the biggest, but it was so cheerful and bright. "Maybe," Squeaky whispered to himself, "there's no such thing as a perfect pumpkin, but every pumpkin can be perfect in its own way." With a happy chatter, Squeaky chose a medium-sized pumpkin with a slightly flattened side and a few interesting bumps. It wasn't perfect by his earlier standards, but it had a unique character that he now appreciated. He imagined how lovely it would look once carved and how many seeds it would hold. Squeaky, feeling much happier with his choice, decided to explore a little more before heading home. He bounced along the rows of pumpkins, humming a cheerful tune. Suddenly, he heard a creaking sound. Ahead, standing tall amidst the pumpkins, was a scarecrow. It had a friendly, stitched-on smile and a Johnny straw hat. A few little crows were perched on its outstretched arms, chattering away. Squeaky had always been a little scared of scarecrows, thinking they might try to scare him. But this scarecrow seemed different. It wasn't moving, of course, but its smile looked genuinely kind. The crows didn't seem scared of it at all. In fact, they seemed quite comfortable. "Hello," Squeaky chirped nervously. One of the crows, a rather plump one, looked down at Squeaky. "Oh, hello there, little squirrel. Don't mind old straw man here. He's very good company." Squeaky tilted his head. "But he's a scarecrow. Aren't scarecrows supposed to be scary?" The plump crow ruffled its feathers. "Well, he is good at keeping some pests away, but he's also a very good listener. And he provides a lovely perch for us. He doesn't try to scare us because we understand he's just doing his job and we respect that." Squeaky felt a warmth spread through his little chest. The grumpy-looking green pumpkin, the friendly scarecrow. He was learning that things weren't always what they seemed on the outside. He thanked the plump crow and the silent straw man, then continued his journey back towards his tree hollow, pulling the medium-sized pumpkin behind him. It wobbled and rolled, but Squeaky was proud of it. Suddenly, he heard a small, whimpering sound coming from under a large maple tree. He stopped and cautiously peeked around a pumpkin vine. There, huddled on the chilly ground, was a tiny field mouse named Pip. Pip was shivering and looked very sad. "What's wrong, Pip?" Squeaky asked gently. Pip looked up, tears welling in his eyes. "Oh, Squeaky, I lost my winter stash of grain. I hid it near the fence post, but the groundhog dug a hole right through it. Now I have no food for the cold days, and Halloween is tomorrow." Squeaky knew how much work went into gathering food for winter. He also knew how scary it felt to be unprepared. He looked at his beautiful, bumpy pumpkin. It wasn't just a decoration. It was full of what Pip needed most right now, food. He thought about the owl's words. True beauty is found within, or in how we use what we have. He hadn't even carved his pumpkin yet, so all the precious seeds were still inside. A bright idea sparked in Squeaky's mind. "Don't worry, Pip," he chirped. "I may not have a stash of grain, but I have something even better right now." Squeaky nudged his pumpkin forward. This pumpkin is full of the yummiest, crunchiest seeds you can imagine. We can open it up right now, and you can take all the seeds you need for your winter stash. Pip's face lit up. "Are you sure, Squeaky? But you wanted to carve a perfect jack-o'-lantern." Squeaky smiled, remembering his earlier fuss over the perfect pumpkin. "This pumpkin is already perfect, Pip. It's perfect for helping a friend. I can use the shell later to make a different kind of lantern, but these seeds are needed now." With Pip's help, they rolled the pumpkin back to the edge of the patch. Squeaky used a strong acorn cap to carefully break through the skin, and together, they dug out the gooey, stringy pumpkin guts, revealing a treasure trove of shiny white seeds. Pip packed his cheeks with seeds, his little heart full of gratitude. He knew he was saved. "Thank you, Squeaky. This is the greatest Halloween treat ever." As the afternoon sun began to dip, Squeaky watched Pip scurry off with his generous gift. It wasn't the beautiful, unblemished masterpiece he had originally sought, but it was still his. It was a shell of kindness and generosity. Squeaky realized that the real lesson of the pumpkin patch wasn't about finding the most perfect thing, but about being the kindest version of himself and using his gifts to help others. That, he decided, was the best kind of Halloween magic. Squeaky felt a deep sense of satisfaction as he looked at the empty shell of his pumpkin. He hadn't found the perfect pumpkin to carve, but he had found the perfect opportunity to be kind. And Squeaky learned that the greatest Halloween magic of all is being kind.